very good morning to all our viewers. You're watching Rajya Sabha television and I'm Smriti Rastogi with breakfast news. And let's get started with the top headlines of the day. Government approves procurement of fresh batch of Barak surface-to-air missiles. Acquisition proposal worth over 860 crore rupees. Kejriwal wants MCD polls postponed. Election Commission rejects allegations that VVPAT machines from UP were brought for MP by polls. India terms reaction of African envoys unfortunate after head of African mission criticizes centre over recent attacks on its nationals. Killed and over 40 injured in blast at St. Petersburg metro station. Reports say suspect has been identified. Not clear if he is the bomber. And Colombia declares emergency after landslides in town of Mocoa. Death toll has risen to 262. The government has approved procurement of a fresh batch of Barak surface-to-air missiles for a naval warship from Israel. The approval was given at a meeting of the Defence Acquisition Council chaired by Defence Minister Arun Jaitley. The capital acquisition proposals totals over 860 crore rupees, including for the purchase of Barak missiles. The purchase is to enhance India's maritime capability in view of the changing security dynamics in the Indian Ocean region. The clearance to procure Barak missiles from Israeli firm Rafael Advanced Defense Systems Limited comes ahead of Prime Minister Narendra Modi's expected visit to Israel. Almost all ships of the Indian Navy will be equipped with these missiles. Defense Ministry sources say that the Defense Minister also issued directions to speed up procurement of military platform and weapons. The DAC also accorded acceptance of necessity for procurement of equipment such as underwater robo to counter mines in the sea. And the finance ministers from 7 member countries of the South Asia Sub-Regional Economic Cooperation Programme unveiled a vision document in the national capital on Monday. The document outlines the roadmap for economic growth and connectivity in the region. Meanwhile, Finance Minister Arun Jaitley asserted that the collective vision will sustain sub-regional growth through enhanced cooperation. Here is a report.
Finance Minister Arun Jaitley launching the South Asia Sub-Regional Economic Cooperation Vision document along with Finance Ministers of Bhutan, Bangladesh, Myanmar, Maldives, Nepal and Sri Lanka. Jaitley emphasized that the enhanced SASAC engagement will empower Asia in the 21st century and all countries have pledged to improve intra-regional connectivity to boost trade and tourism. With this, the region hopes to achieve $70 billion incremental GDP and 20 million jobs by 2025.
The SASAC vision, complemented by the operational plan, would help the member countries overcome the problems and challenges associated with unemployment, macroeconomic and structural vulnerabilities, access and integration, and limited investment and growth.
Myanmar joined the SASAC program as its newest and 7th member and was officially welcomed on Monday. Finance Minister Arun Jaitley said Myanmar's inclusion will play a key role in linking South Asia with Southeast and East Asia.
Our policy will definitely receive a fillip with Myanmar's participation in SASAC's improved access to gateway ports, particularly in Bangladesh and Myanmar, may help to unleash the latent potential of the agro and forest-based industries.
The South Asia Sub-Regional Economic Cooperation Programme was set up in 2001 with 4 countries of South Asia, Bangladesh, Bhutan, India and Nepal. Since then, SASAC countries have expanded and implemented 46 regional projects worth over $9 billion in energy, transport, trade facilitation and economic corridors. The Asian Development Bank serves as the secretariat for the SASAC member countries. Kriti Mishra, Rajya Sabha TV.
Meanwhile, Finance Minister Arun Jaitley will hold talks with his British counterpart Philip Hammond today in Delhi. The talks will be centred around promoting trade and investments between the two countries. Hammond is visiting India to participate in the 9th UK-India Economic and Financial Dialogue. The high-level talks are aimed at deepening the UK's economic and trading relationship with India and showcasing Britain as one of the best places in the world to do the business. The British High Commission adds that EFD will involve a series of events over a 2-day period, including discussions on trade, financial services and infrastructure. Bank of England Governor Mark Carney and CEO of the Financial Conduct Authority, Andrew Bailey, will also take part in the dialogue with Jaitley. Hammond will also visit Mumbai. African envoys have condemned attacks on African nationals, calling them xenophobic and racial. Heads of African missions in India criticized the Indian government, saying that it took no known sufficient and visible deterrent action to stop such attacks, indicating their disappointment over lack of response from the Prime Minister and the Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister. The envoys said that they expected a strong condemnation of the attacks at the highest political level, both nationally and locally. They also called for an independent investigation by the Human Rights Council as well as other human rights bodies, and also to comprehensively report the matter to the Commission of African Union. 4 Nigerian students were attacked by a group of Greater Noida residents who took out a candlelight march on March 26 after a 17-year-old boy died due to suspected drug overdose. Meanwhile, India has termed as the reaction of the African envoys unfortunate. The External Affairs Ministry has said investigations into the death of the Indian teenager and the subsequent incident by the local authorities are ongoing.
No, what we want is that things like this can happen. We are human beings. It can happen. But why only to Africans? And this we want there to condemn it by the highest level of the government. Only. That is the only way we want.
And today is the first cabinet meeting of the newly formed BJP government in Uttar Pradesh. Key issues in the BJP's poll manifesto, especially farm loan waiver, electricity in rural areas, and an ordinance on slaughterhouses are likely to be taken up during the meet. State Agriculture Minister Surya Pratap Shahi said a proposal prepared for farm loan waiver will be presented before the cabinet at its first meeting. Government sources said that around 2.30 crore farmers in the state suffered losses due to natural calamities in the recent past and were unable to repay loans amounting to about 62,000 crore rupees. Besides farm loan waiver, the cabinet is likely to take important decisions regarding legalizing slaughterhouses, licenses of meat sellers, extending more help to the water-scarce Bundelkhand region and sorting out the problems related to Purvanchal.
ये किसानों के हित में बहुत बड़ा फैसला होने वाला है और जो हम लोगों ने किसानों के लिए अपने लोक कल्याण संकल्प पत्र में वादा किया था कि हम आएंगे तो सीमांत कृषक और लघु कृषकों को जो कर्ज के बोझ से दबे हुए किसान हैं उनको हम राहत दिलाएंगे और उनके कर्जों को माफ करेंगे। इस बात की संभावना है।
हमारे माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी ने चुनाव से पहले इसकी घोषणा की थी कि जो दुखद स्थिति नेचुरल कैलेमिटी के कारण से सीमांत किसान जो छोटे कृषक हैं उनकी हुई थी, उनके जो बैंक के ऋण हैं उनको हम माफ करेंगे।
On to some more news, the government on Monday released a countrywide ranking of educational institutions. According to it, Delhi's Miranda House and Bengaluru's Indian Institute of Science are India's best college and university respectively. The IISc Bangalore has been ranked #1 educational institution in India. 7 Indian institutes of technology have also made it to the list of the top 10 educational institutions. 6 Delhi University colleges have made it to the list of the top 10 colleges in the country. According to the list released by the HRD Ministry, the top 3 colleges are Delhi's Miranda House, Loyola College in Chennai and Sri Ram College of Commerce in Delhi. The top 3 universities are IISc in Bangalore, Jawaharlal Nehru University in New Delhi and BHU in Varanasi. Top 3 management institutions are Indian Institute of Management in Ahmedabad, Indian Institute of Management Bangalore, Indian Institute of Management Calcutta. And top 3 engineering colleges are IIT Madras, IIT Bombay, IIT Kharagpur. While making the announcement, HRD Minister Prakash Javadekar said that the institutions which have fared well in the annual national rankings will be provided more funding, enhanced autonomy and other benefits. and that policy regarding the same will be announced soon to encourage the spirit of competition and enhance the quality of education being imparted by the institutions across the country.
गुणवत्ता प्राप्त संस्थानों को रिकॉग्नाइज कर रहा है और समाज को भी मार्गदर्शन मिलता है कि कहाँ अच्छा रैंकिंग है, कहाँ अच्छी गुणवत्ता है, तो वहाँ प्रवेश लेने में उनको एक आधार मिलता है कि ये अच्छा रैंकिंग है। ये भारत विरोधी नारे और अफजल गुरु के नारे के लिए जेएनयू या जादवपुर को पुरस्कार नहीं मिला है। ये पुरस्कार वहाँ जो छात्रों की खबरें मीडिया नहीं चलाता है, वो छात्रों ने जो बहुत अच्छा शोध कार्य किया है साइंस टेक्नोलॉजी में, उसके लिए है।
And Bihar Chief Minister Nitish Kumar has stressed on a grand alliance of opposition parties at the national level to stop the surge of BJP. He has urged the Congress and left parties to take initiative for this. Speaking in Patna on Monday, he said that BJP's win in UP was because of a lack of grand alliance like that in Bihar. He also said that he had talks with left leaders in this matter and the grand alliance will throw the BJP-led NDA out of power in 2019 Lok Sabha polls. He also said that BJP is unnecessarily celebrating victory in the recently concluded polls in the 5 states. BJP, however, dismissed opposition's call for a grand alliance.
जैसे यहाँ का महागठबंधन सक्सेसफुल हुआ है, देश में अगर यूनिटी होती है तो महासफल होगा वो। हमने उनसे भी आग्रह किया है कि लेफ्ट पार्टी एक तरह से कह लीजिए कि आज जो जिस तरह की राजनीति चल रही है उसमें एक उनकी जो छवि है वो इम्पार्शियल छवि, तो ऐसी स्थिति में उनको भी लीड लेना चाहिए एकजुटता के लिए, हमने आग्रह किया है। और कांग्रेस का तो ये स्वाभाविक रूप से दायित्व है।
वोट के बिखराव से सांप्रदायिक ताकतों को फायदा हुआ है। मायावती जी का अखिलेश का वोट जोड़ दीजिए तो खराब स्थिति में भी 52% वोट वहां हुआ। कहाँ नीचे चली गई है बीजेपी, कहाँ आंधी था, कहाँ न कोई चीज था।
गठबंधन के नेता बनकर और प्रधानमंत्री बन जाए तो ऐसी ख्वाहिश कई लोगों के मन में है। ममता जी के मन में, केजरीवाल साहब के मन में, नीतीश कुमार जी के मन में और पता नहीं कितने मन में है। लेकिन कोई कितना इकट्ठा हो ले, 2019 में भी नरेंद्र मोदी जी जीतेंगे और सरकार बनेगी। विपक्ष के नेता का गठबंधन बन सकता है, सत्ता तो नरेंद्र भाई के पास ही रहेगी।
And with that, time for a very short break. More national and international news on the other side. Stay with us.
Currency Building, Kolkata. A 178-year-old structure, built in 1833 in the Italianate style, with Venetian windows, ornate cast iron gates and railings. The central hall of this building gets light through the sunlight overtoppings in the large domes. This beautiful building was originally the Agra Bank, and then it became the Office of Issue and Exchange of Government Paper Currency. It later housed the Reserve Bank of India until 1937. Today, the building is protected by the Archaeological Survey of India.
Welcome back. Just 3 weeks before municipal elections in Delhi, Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal has called for its postponement so that voting can be held using ballot papers. Kejriwal alleged widespread tampering of the EVMs and claimed VVPAT machines from Uttar Pradesh were being brought to conduct the by-polls in Rajouri Garden and Bhind in MP. Lieutenant Governor Anil Baijal rejected Kejriwal's demand, citing time constraints to effect any change in the mode of polling. The municipal polls are scheduled to be held on 23rd of April. Meanwhile, the Election Commission hit out at Kejriwal, terming his allegation of UP EVMs being used in by-polls as baseless. It reiterated that EVMs were tamper-proof and asked Kejriwal to introspect on the party's performance. Congress and other political parties also raised concerns over the issue of EVM tampering in the recently concluded assembly elections in the 5 states. BJP has dismissed such allegations. Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal has reportedly sent an official request to Lieutenant Governor Anil Baijal, urging him to clear the payment of 3.86 crore rupees of his legal bills. The Delhi government has urged the LG to provide immediate clearance of the bills, which is to be paid to lawyer Ram Jethmalani, who is representing the Chief Minister in a defamation case filed against him. The government said that Law Department had opinioned that why Delhi government should foot the bills when the case was not related to the city administration. Lieutenant Governor has sought legal advice in clearing the bills. Finance Minister Arun Jaitley had filed a criminal defamation complaint against Kejriwal and other Aam Aadmi Party leaders in 2015 over their comments over the DDCA controversy. And as the curtains drew for the nomination process for the MCD elections on Monday, parties in the national capital released the final list of candidates. Over 4,200 nominations have been filed for the municipal polls. Among the major parties, Aam Aadmi Party has filed 1,033 nominations, followed by the BJP and Congress with 565 and 544 each. Braving the pressure from several quarters, the BJP released its second and final list of 100 candidates, giving priority to women. The final list included names of 34 candidates in NDMC, 40 in SDMC and 26 in East Delhi Municipal Corporation. The BJP has given 5 tickets to its ally Akali Dal. The Janata Dal United also released its sixth list of 18 candidates for the MCD polls, taking the total number of contestants to nearly 120. The Nitish Kumar-led party has targeted to fight on about 150 of the 272 seats in the municipal elections slated for April 23rd. The Congress also announced its second list of 127 candidates for the MCD polls. The party has so far announced names of 267 candidates. Congress has fielded majority of the first-timers in the elections, giving preference to youth. There are 272 wards in 3 municipal corporations in the city, including 104 each in South and North Delhi Municipal Corporation and 64 in East Delhi Municipal Corporation, going to polls on April 23rd. On to some more developments. Kashmir remained tensed on Monday as Pakistan violated ceasefire in the valley. In another incident, 1 CRPF Jawan was killed and 5 injured after terrorists attacked their convoy near Sempora area of Srinagar late in the afternoon. 2 civilians were also injured in the firing.
Pakistan violated ceasefire along the line of control in Poonch district of Jammu and Kashmir on Monday. Pakistani army initiated indiscriminate firing with small arms, automatic weapons and lobbed mortar shells on forward posts and civilian areas, prompting retaliation by the Indian army.
The Pakistan army is firing mortars, automatics and small arms and has resorted to an unprovoked, uncalled for ceasefire violation. A befitting reply has been given by the Indian army.
The heavy mortar shelling triggered panic among people living near the border.
पाकिस्तान से ऐसी फायरिंग कर रही है, हम बाहर नहीं निकल सकते, बहुत जोर से फायरिंग कर रही है दोनों तरफ, हमारे इंडिया के फौज जवाब दे रहे हैं.
In another attack, 1 CRPF Jawan was killed and 5 others injured after terrorists attacked their convoy near Sempora area of Pantha Chowk in Srinagar outskirts late in the afternoon. 2 civilians were also injured in the firing.
Companies were coming from Jammu to Srinagar for election duties, and these vehicles were fired upon by some militants at Sempura. This is the sensitive time otherwise, because during election separatists are giving the boycott call, and militants have also stepped up their activity. So we all are on high alert.
The ceasefire violation came a day after a police jawan, Constable Shamsuddin, was killed in a grenade attack on Sunday evening in Nauhata area of Srinagar. 15 jawans, including police and CRPF personnel, were injured in the attack. The attack also came on a day when Prime Minister Narendra Modi visited the state to inaugurate the Jammu-Srinagar tunnel.
समय समय पर इस प्रकार के तो प्रमाण उपलब्ध होते रहे हैं कि पाकिस्तान और इस्लामाबाद की सरकार भारत की धरती पर और विशेषकर जम्मू कश्मीर में होने वाले आतंकवाद को बढ़ावा भी देता है, प्रोत्साहन भी देता है. मैं मात्र ये कहूँगा कि जैसे 2 ही रोज पहले आदरणीय गृह मंत्री श्री राजनाथ सिंह जी ने कहा था कि सीमा पर यदि कोई उल्लंघन होता है तो वहां के अर्धसेना बलों को, सेनाओं को ये स्वतंत्रता दी गई है कि वो मौके पर जो उचित कार्रवाई समझें वो करें।
In a major crackdown, the J&K police seized 14 mobile phones from a jail in Baramulla district of Kashmir. The mobile phones were allegedly used by inmates to communicate with Pakistani contacts via WhatsApp.
मोबाइल मिले हैं, ये सही है और उस पर FIR दी गई है और हमारी साइबर फोरेंसिक जो टीम है उसको एग्जामिन कर रही है।
Just 4 days back, Home Minister Rajnath Singh had said in Parliament that Pakistan is using social media to incite youths and foment terror in the Kashmir Valley. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
And a look at what else is making news across the country nationwide. The Supreme Court will hear 5,300 cases during the summer vacation commencing from May 11th. The Apex Court Registry has issued a list of advanced regular hearing matters which will come up for hearing before the 2 vacation benches. These cases are in addition to the proposal to have 3 constitution bench to hear the matters of importance like triple talaq, WhatsApp user data protection and illegal immigration and Section 6A of the Citizenship Act. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has said that the number of beneficiaries to the Prime Minister Ujjwal Yojana for providing LPG connections to the BPL households has crossed 2 crore marks in less than a year. Tweeting the information, the Prime Minister hailed the achievement and said that it is guided by a strong commitment to bring about a qualitative change in the lives of poor women. The Election Commission has directed the VK Sasikala faction of the AIADMK to remove the original 2-leaf symbol of the party from its website and all the social media accounts. It has given the Sasikala faction time till 11 AM on Thursday to explain as to why its order on freezing of the name AIADMK and its election symbol has been violated. At least 2 people have been killed and as many as missing across Assam following heavy rains and storm. This has forced the authorities to shut the highway to Haflong for heavy vehicles. 11 districts have been affected by the heavy rains and storm. And shifting our focus on the international front, a blast in a St. Petersburg metro train on Monday that killed at least 11 people and injured 45 was carried out by a suspected suicide bomber with ties with the Islamic State. With Russia's military intervention in Syria, the country has become a potential target for IS attacks. Russia has in the past experienced bomb attacks carried out by Islamist rebels from Russia's North Caucasus region. However, there has been no immediate claim of responsibility, but state police is treating the blast as an act of terrorism. Initial investigation suggests that the blasts were carried out by a suicide bomber. Meanwhile, Russian President Vladimir Putin visited a makeshift memorial near the metro station on late Monday night and paid tributes to the victims. Putin also held a meet with the security services over the incident. United Nations Chief Antonio Guterres condemned the bombings in the St. Petersburg metro. He also extended deepest sympathy and said that the attackers must be held accountable for the heinous act. The White House also condemns the attack and called it a reprehensible attack. Leaders of the European Union and foreign ministers of Germany, Britain and France expressed solidarity with the victims.
The Secretary General condemns today's bombing in the St. Petersburg metro. He extends his deepest sympathy and condolences to the families of the victims and to the government and the people of the Russian Federation. Those responsible for this appalling act must be held accountable.
The United States condemns this reprehensible attack and act of violence. Our thoughts and prayers are with the injured and with the Russian people as we extend our deepest condolences to the loved ones who have been killed and injured.
Our condolences go to all Russian people and in particular those who lost their loved ones, and we continue to follow the news coming from St. Petersburg with a lot of apprehension.
Outrage, but clearly our thoughts are very much today with the families of the victims and with the people of St. Petersburg, just as a few days ago they were with the people of London.
Et des blessés. Je voudrais d'abord exprimer toute ma solidarité avec les victimes et aussi mes condoléances au peuple russe pour cette épreuve. Nous ne connaissons pas les causes, mais en tout cas, nous sommes avec tous ceux qui souffrent. Et c'est pourquoi je tiens à exprimer en cet instant toute ma solidarité au nom de la France.
And credit rating agency Standard & Poor's has downgraded South Africa's rating to junk status as the country's currency continued to slide following a major cabinet reshuffle. In an unscheduled review that prompted a sell-off in South Africans' assets, S&P cited that the political upheaval, including the recent sacking of finance minister by President Jacob Zuma, was endangering the economy. The announcement has put more pressure on the rand, which came down to 2% against the dollar. President Zuma had faced widespread criticism after he replaced Jordan with Malusi Rugaba, a former Home Affairs Minister. All of the South Africa's main opposition parties have condemned the move. And Colombia has declared an economic, social and ecological emergency as the death toll rose to 262 in the Saturday's landslide in the town of Mocoa. Colombian President Juan Manuel Santos said the government was also putting 40,000 million pesos towards addressing humanitarian priorities. Santos has vowed that investment will be made to make Mocoa better than it was before. Meanwhile, search and rescue operations continue, but hopes of finding survivors is quickly fading as operations enter the third day. More than 500 people have been put in emergency housing. The tragedy occurred in the early hours of Saturday as several rivers burst their banks near the southwestern city of Mocoa, sending water, mud and debris crushing down into houses while people were asleep.
Hay muchas ramas y elementos de pronto que nos dan la posibilidad de que puedan ser partes de cuerpos, verificando de pronto esa situación, esos puntos, y de ahí focalizar de pronto el rescate de todas las unidades que nos encontramos aquí para hacerlo a bien tener de pronto rescatar la persona y entregársela.
And a huge loss to the classical music industry. Renowned classical vocalist Kishori Amonkar passed away in Mumbai on Monday. She was 84, born on April 10, 1932. Amonkar was recognized as one of the foremost singers in the Hindustani tradition and as an innovative exponent of the Jaipur Gharana. She was known primarily for her skillful singing of classical khayal songs set in the traditional ragas in Hindustani music. Amonkar was a popular speaker and travelled throughout India giving lectures on the theory of rasas in music. She received many awards, including the Padma Bhushan in 1987 and Padma Vibhushan in 2002. Maharashtra Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis and Governor C. Vidyasagar Rao, in their condolence messages, described Amonkar as a doyen of classical music. And that's all we have for you in this edition of Breakfast News. See you again tomorrow, same time. Till then, keep watching Rajya Sabha television.